If you are filming on village property,
Yeah.
you must get a permit for video.
What law is that?
That's a village code.
Okay, calm
So
down.
you can go upstairs to the second floor,
Yeah.
and you can apply for a permit to be videotaping on village
The
property.
First Amendment gives me the right to film in public.
Not on village property. It is a village code, a
Village
of Larchmont code.
If you're going to be enforcing code on me, I would like to know the code, please.
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about public recording, something that should be simple but often turns into a big deal. We'll look at how using your rights can sometimes clash with what people expect, leading to some tense and interesting moments. We'll break down real interactions with the public and police to see how standing up for your rights plays out in everyday situations. It's all about finding the balance between personal freedom and public reactions. So let's dive in and see what happens when you exercise your rights in public.
They were saying this, that, and the other, a whole bunch of stuff. So I asked them to leave, and they did. It's fine. They're out there. That's cool. No, they're just upset because I won't let them. I didn't want them originally talking to my kid, and so that's why they're mad.
Well, they're just doing their job. They're part of the children's division.
Well,
they have to investigate just like we have to investigate stuff, so.
I know.
You have an ID with you?
Nope.
What's your name?
Oh, no, I don't get my ID unless I'm
Okay, I'm not
convicted
going to
of
play
crime.
this game with you. I've done it before a couple years ago. I'm not going to do it again.
Hold on.
I have a reason to identify you.
What for?
Property damage. When you kick a vehicle, it's considered property damage.
Okay, is there evidence of that?
I have 2 witnesses, so yes.
No, is there evidence? It's hearsay right now.
No, I have 2 witnesses.
We can both say that he kicked me, and I...
Okay, dude, I'm not going to play this game with you. Identify yourself. I'm going to put you in cuffs. I'm going to take your fingerprint and identify you.
So you're going to threaten to arrest me?
I'm not threatening to arrest you. I'm threatening to detain you.
Is that
to identify you? Yes.
That's all I need to know. Am I going to be arrested if I don't ID?
It's a strong possibility right now.
No, it's a possibility, but am I yes or no?
When you are being investigated for committing a crime, I have a reason to identify.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's a refusal to identify.
Yeah, if you suspect me of a crime. So what's your reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime?
Hey, call PD and see if we can just look him up through his address, because we've been here before and did the same thing with him.
Well, I just want to know if I'm convicted of a crime. If you suspect me...
I can't convict you of a crime.
No, suspect me of committing a crime. It's really simple.
When you go and kick a government vehicle, yeah.
Yeah, if I had kicked it. If.
I'm not going to play the game with you.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
I just need your information,
But,
and then I don't need to talk to you no more.
Okay. Well, if you guys already know who I am, that's cool.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
That's okay. That's okay.
Because I've been out here before and did the same crap with you.
You weren't here before.
Yes, I was.
With this skinny little guy? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, because I like to honor the oath of the Constitution. I like my Fourth Amendment.
Okay.
I like it because when I go to jail or court, and they say, "Did you suspect him of a crime?" and you say he allegedly kicked a car,
That's me suspecting of a crime. Yep.
Yeah.
This video shows how important it is to stand up for our rights, even when faced with intimidation. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution protects our right to be safe in our bodies, homes, papers, and things from unreasonable searches and seizures. This means the government can't search you, your home, or your stuff without a good reason or a warrant from a judge based on probable cause. Probable cause is important because it needs more proof than just suspecting someone committed a crime. The Fourth Amendment helps keep a balance between law enforcement and our privacy. It makes sure the government's power to get into our lives is limited and has the right checks and balances. Privacy is a big part of our lives, and the Fourth Amendment acts like a shield against unnecessary searches and seizures by the police. Our homes, personal things, and private spaces get a level of protection to make sure our rights are respected. The Fourth Amendment finds a middle ground between what law enforcement needs and our rights. It says that while it's important to stop crime and investigate, it's also crucial to protect our civil liberties. This balance makes sure the police follow the law and respect the rights and privacy of individuals. The interesting video is a strong reminder of how citizens can empower themselves. When we know and use our rights, we help keep our democratic values. Knowing our rights is key to making sure the police follow the rules of the Constitution, and people can confidently use their rights. If you found this video interesting and thought-provoking, please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with others who might find it fascinating too. Your support helps us bring you more engaging content and stories that matter. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.
Zero, anything pointing to that.
Okay. Yeah, we just want to know what's going on. You know, we've had break-ins in the vehicles here too, so that's why we're just asking. That's all.
No, I get that.
All
That's
right.
cool. But I'm not doing anything wrong. Nothing at all.
man.
Just this. Yeah.
Do you have any ID on you?
Oh, I'm not gonna give you any ID. I'm not. What would I give you ID for?
You have to identify
No, I
yourself
don't. When do you have to identify yourself in Connecticut?
at all times.
No, you don't. That's crazy. This is not Nazi Germany. I'm done talking, so I'm not gonna answer any more questions. After that, you killed it.
I'm not trying to
You
get
just
loud.
killed it. You
I'm
just
not trying
killed
to
it.
get loud. We just want to know what's
You
going
just
on.
said. You just told me that you don't even know the basic laws in Connecticut.
That's not true.
Yes,
If you fail to identify yourself,
We don't have a failure to identify statute. There's
it's
no.
interfering, man.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
If you're committing
You
a
got smart
crime.
computer, you can look it up.
If you're committing a crime.
I'm chilling. No, I'm just saying.
Well, you gotta train this guy, dude. Well, I know, but he doesn't even understand what it takes to get identification in Connecticut. He thinks that you have to identify at all times. That's crazy.
Nope, like I said, we seen you walk out from behind the cars here, so we didn't know what you were doing.
And I
So
said I
we're
didn't
just
pass
pulling
it.
We're pulling the footage just to make sure, man.
That's fine.
You're free to leave, like I said.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna leave. I'm not done.
What's that?
I said I'm not done.
Okay, that's fine.
But-
All right. All right.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, we gotta talk.
You gonna get
about
him caught up on the statutes and stuff?
I'll talk to him.
'Cause you definitely don't.
Out here, I was over there. So
Well, I got it, but you don't have to identify at all times. Thank you, bud. Can I get your names?
Sergeant Wolfberg,
Thank you.
Officer Keeney.
Thank you. He's gonna tell him everything. He's scared of me looking in the car. That's it, guys. Plainfield, Connecticut. You have to identify any time an officer asks you. And you heard him. There's no statute for not identifying. So what do? They tie it into interfering.
So here's the thing, when you're in a public place, you've got the right to record what's going on. That's protected by the First Amendment. Courts have made it clear that we can record government officials doing their jobs in public, and that's a pretty important way of keeping things transparent. However, when you're recording in a public place, people can't expect the same level of privacy they would have in a private space. So, if someone is just filming in a spot where everyone can see, they're not breaking the law as long as they're not getting in the way or being disruptive. Now, if the cops start asking for ID or proof that you're a journalist, that gets tricky. There's a thing called the right to stay anonymous, especially for journalists. The courts have said that the press has a right to do their job without having to reveal who they are, unless there's a real reason for the cops to get involved. For example, the cops might be worried about safety. Maybe there were threats against them in the past, but that can't just be a reason to stop someone from recording. There has to be a real specific reason to think they're doing something wrong. You can't just assume that someone's a threat just because they're holding a camera. This whole issue comes down to understanding the difference between public and private spaces and what rights you have in each. Public spaces don't give the same privacy as private ones, and as long as you're not causing trouble, you've got the right to record what's going on. It's all about knowing your rights and standing up for them without overstepping or causing unnecessary conflict.